Welcome back to
Londinium Legions.
episode
5.
Yeah. Hi, as you can probably tell at my wet face, our wet faces, we are in the middle of a heat wave here in England.
Indeed. 36
degrees, so up in the, I don't know, mid to high 90s. For us, it's a big deal. It's quite humid. Right, Dad, we've been out today.
Eynsford Castle.
Indeed. An 11th century castle. And they like that. Trevor, Sissy John, lovers of history, you know. Popped off to Eynsford Castle. Surprise, surprise, we were the only ones there because, as the saying goes, only mad dogs and Englishmen go out in the midday sun.
Absolutely, yeah. When this castle was built, Londinium, aka London, but really Londinium at the time, wasn't even the capital of England. We can tell you which was the capital, but you can do a bit of research, you know. But yeah.
English history is complicated.
It is very complicated. Thanks for tuning in again, guys. We're here. How long was we up for, guys? Maybe about, what, 45 minutes?
We kind of cut it short because we were actually melting.
Melting! Yeah.
Yeah, we were there for a bit, got some shots, got some figure shots as normal. One thing we realised and we noticed was our figures were very floppy. Because of the heat, and this is a consideration depending where you live, they were easily pliable, great for pop and swapping.
Yeah.
You didn't need to warm anything up. The figures were hot in the bags.
No hairdryer needed.
No hair dryers needed.
No dipping them in warm water.
No. Earlier in the year, back in January, I was up in Scotland, up in the Highlands with a friend of mine, and it was minus temperature and snowy. So I did take figures with me, and I was careful when I took them out. I literally put each figure in my hand, warmed them up in my hand before I started to move them around. Because I realised in sub-zero conditions, like I didn't want it to break any of the figures. Yeah. There was no problems, but just be wary if you are living in a cold climate, be careful. And likewise in a warm climate, some figures, if they're already in a little bit on the loose side, they won't be very floppy. Maybe a bit more challenging to pose.
Absolutely.
The environment has an effect.
You've got to take more caution in cold environments. As people talk about in the community all the time, and sometimes you get a new figure in a box and maybe where it's been stored, you've got to make sure that you know, people talk about it. I remember getting educated about it when I first got into the community about using a hairdryer to loosen up the figures and whatnot, warm them up so they're looser. Because I've done it. I've opened up a figure fresh from the box, gone to move a leg and it's just snapped. And it's snapped in an annoying way, which is difficult to actually fix and have the figure working as normal. It works if you want to glue it and use it as a statue. But if you do indeed. If you do what we do, then you don't need your figure being a statue because it needs to be able to move for the action figure photography.
I'm imagining in hot temperatures like it is here now, I think it's probably more liable for shelf dives. Like,
it's such a good point, you know, because
overheat and get too floppy.
Yep, earlier when I walked over to the window, I've got multiple figures that have collapsed in the back of my, like you can't see it from here, but there's a few of them that have taken.
I've had a couple go down, not from height though. One was on the table and one was like on ground level. A few figures are kind of flopped over in the heat,
especially when the sun is beaming through the window and shining directly on the figures. So
I've been keeping my curtains drawn in my living room.
Do you know what? I tend to do that anyway. You know, I know you know that, but I draw my curtains in it because I don't want the light slowly dyeing my figures.
Yeah, kind of sun bleaching the figures.
Yeah, like Faisal said, definitely be precarious about that because we love the sun. The sun is needed. However, at the same time, that's
sun takes no prisoners.
Exactly, that's the downside if you're not careful. So
I guess at least you're trying to make your figures look vintage. Then leave them out in the sun.
Indeed, yeah. But it's amazing because the method people usually use to warm up their figures, now you just put your figure on the windowsill.
Yeah, for like 2 minutes.
2 minutes and
done.
Nice and warm.
They come apart very easily.
Save on electricity when it comes to using the hairdryer.
Yeah, solar powered pop and swap.
Just saying.
As we previously said before, if you have any questions, any queries, jump in to the comments and just ask, man. Just ask.
Yes, wicked guys.
Don't be afraid.
No need to be afraid.
I'm just scared.
Don't be scared. Don't be afraid. Alright guys, wicked. We'll get into it.
Stay mythic.
I agree. Let's get into it.
Let's just begin with image number 1 from yours truly, the Mythic Woodsman. This shot was taken in Surrey in a place called Marden Park, which isn't really a park, it's just it's an extensive woodland. Beautiful part of the country, very affluent part of the country. So lots of nice people and nice cars. Great woodland. This particular area of the woodland, there's a section of trees that looks like a mini Fangorn forest from Lord of the Rings. Lots of twisty, crazy trees and thick moss on the ground.
Yes.
So this is actually the base of a tree covered in thick moss. And here we have a gladiator with an undead gladiator in a bit of a pickle, as us Brits like to say, with some other skellies who perhaps want to make him a full skeleton or wondering why he's not fighting on their side. I really had the idea in my head on this day when I went there to have like a shot of a warrior surrounded by a terrifying peril. So what better than the Graveyard Skeletons? A great set. If you've not picked up one, even if you're not a Skelly fan, they're so much fun to use as fodder, as in battle scenes like this one. So this was natural light. There wasn't any further lighting necessary for this one. I think Gladiator was one of the early figures that I got.
Yeah.
I've had it for a while.
It's an old figure.
And all I've ever done with that was paint the skull and some of the detail on the pauldron in gold, actually with a gold marker pen.
Come on.
And put the skull on. And that for me was enough. For me, it's like an undead gladiator kind of, back from the grave, still trying to fight for freedom. But I know, Curtis, if you're listening, I know you're a fan of this figure. But yeah, it's such a simple head swap is all it takes. In terms of posing, this was, as much as me and Elijah love moss on rock is one thing, but thick moss on a tree like this is quite spongy.
Yeah.
So you pose a figure, second you let go of it, like the ground kind of like bounces back and they tend to fall over.
Usually.
So this took a little bit, like, the skeletons holding spears, you can easily kind of have like the one end of the spear kind of touching the ground, or it's a bit of balance. This one, luckily, I didn't have to do that. So yeah, a bit of patience with moss, but it's worth it. It's worthwhile. Views.
Thrilling image fires. Got an action-packed feel to it. I love the way that your character that is in the center here looks like he's being attacked or he's being questioned. Maybe he's snuck into the undead realm or an undead kingdom, and he's in disguise. The skull may even be a mask. Maybe some sort of wizard has put a spell on him to make him appear like an undead. By the way, I think Curtis loves this figure because of the feet.
But bare feet.
It might be the bare feet.
Yeah.
However, I love that he's in the center, and the reason why I feel like they're checking him out and they're not sure is because the one that's behind him looks a bit hesitant. The others look a bit more on guard, but the one behind him, maybe he does actually appear to be some sort of lieutenant or captain, because his pauldron is different from the others. And so it seems like he's got some rank as a result of that. But the way he's standing, he looks like he's hesitant to actually do the guy in, or stab him in the back or whatever. Unless he wants him to turn around so he can slash him and he can see himself being slashed. But anyways, so, obviously people can choose whichever story they want, because that is the beauty of posting an image. And I don't think with this one, Fires, you didn't write anything, did you?
I can't remember whether I did.
Yeah, there wouldn't have been much, would it?
Because I just took this shot
brief.
At least a year ago, maybe more.
Yeah, so, people can make up whichever story they want. However, getting to the image, moss, like Fire says, moss can be tricky to actually keep figures upright.
Yeah, spongy moss is a challenge.
Spongy moss tends to have the figures bounce.
But it looks great.
Absolutely, yeah. It looks fantastic. I mean, not a problem if a character's sitting down.
Or lying back, yeah, perfect.
Lying back, crawling.
Yeah.
Or
dead.
Or you could have a character on top of another character and they're fighting to the death or something. If they're lying down, basically, then it makes life easier. If they're standing, then that is a bit of a tricky dilemma. But I love the contrast with the sky as well as the branches, the dozens of branches in the background. And then you also have that contrasting with the mossy terrain as well. So that I love that element. And the poses, you really feel like you're drawn to the center of the image as much as the full undead are drawn to the main character. and so I just love the dimensions here and the composition, of course. And this is solid. Yeah, I love the way the sun is reflecting off of the hero's chest as well. It just says boom, and it makes your eyes draw.
Shiny muscular pecs.
Shiny muscular pecs. So you're drawn to the pecs and to the character as a whole. So yeah, solid image, man.
Thank you. Moving on. Image number 2. Here we have my favourite season of the year, which is autumn. And I'm looking forward to it because I'm melting in the heat. Just in case the Americans are worried, wondering, the temperature at the moment is exactly 1,000 degrees.
It feels that way. Melting!
Yeah. So this image was taken, this might have been a couple of years ago, in Cowdray Forest in Sussex, near, not far from Gatwick Airport. But this, again, a beautiful extensive woodland. I think some of it's classed as ancient woodland. Hey, moss. Who knew?
More
so
moss.
A little mossy, I think it was actually a fallen tree that was covered in moss, which is just ideal for any kind of posing. So here we have Faunus or Faunus, depending how you want to pronounce. What house is he from? It's Xylonis flock, isn't it?
Yeah, Xylonis flock.
Yeah.
He's of the flock.
So this was my favourite season is autumn, mainly for the colours, and this was autumn. I used one Ulanzi light, the VL49, just on a green colour setting, just coming in from one side of the figure. It was do you know what? I might have had another light on the other side actually. Yeah, I actually used 2 lights. I've got like a softer orange to one side and kind of a colder green on the other side. So to bring out some of the metallicness of the armour and on the shield, and just to give a little bit more capture of the detail of the sculpt, because I think it was quite a flat light, so some of it was getting a little bit lost in the picture. So a light either side did the trick. What I like about the background is it looks as if the leaves are falling. They were actually attached to branches, where the light's kind of, you can't see some of the branch. It looks like the leaves are falling, which kind of adds to the shot really. Just kind of a nature warrior in the middle of autumn.
You didn't use any fish wire there, Flies?
No fishing wires. So yeah, just the 2 lights, a mossy log, and a superb figure. And that was it for this one. I was back at that same woodland 2 days ago, and it was ridiculously hot.
I can imagine.
But I've been there before after it's rained, and it's actually impassable. Like half the woods turns into a swamp, and it's like more than a foot deep.
Another one of those.
So yeah, an absolute mess. But yeah, going back on dry conditions, it was a lot easier to navigate. And yeah, Elijah's not been there, so I will have to take him there at some point.
I'd love to go. Yeah, let's go.
It's a great woodland. There you go.
Superbly captured, Fires. I love this. This is so majestic, and what we're doing here, guys, is in terms of the image in the editor that I have, iMovie, for some reason, if they're not landscape, then the images can tend to be cropped in the edit. So what I've done is we just put it in here where we slowly pan up. I mean, it's, we need some Terminator theme tune music playing right now, to be honest, because it matches. But I can go through as we're slowly panning up. The way the light is shining off of the armour, I love it, Fires. I don't know if you'd planned that.
Yeah.
There you go, Fires planned it. And it just adds to it, makes him feel more heroic, makes him look more majestic. I mean, he's majestic anyway, but the way you've captured him, that pose, where he looks like he's about to engage in some serious Mortal Kombat for the flock, because he don't give a flock.
Yeah, flock you, man.
Yeah, it looks like he's about to intercept a dozen skellies.
A dozen mother flockers.
A dozen mother flockers. They're not of the flock. But yeah, for me, this says autumn. Were you to produce a calendar of your images, this would have to go in the autumn section. And that noise you just heard in the background is another figure collapsing.
That was a shelf dive.
Yeah. I don't know which.
I don't know whether you heard that on the camera, but the figure just fell.
Nothing actually fell and landed on the floor. I think it fell over the back. Yeah, but I will find out. But yeah, so that kind of, it's real,
It's real.
Yeah, with this is quintessential autumn. This is, you know, the colours are so autumn. It's so autumn. The colours
It's giving autumn.
are very much autumn of the actual figure itself as well as the actual location. So yeah, majestic, cinematic. I love the leaves in the background. Yeah, you know, it's them ones. It's a situation where because of the focus and the light, or the lack of focus for the background, which is not the intention, you can't see that the leaves are connected. And they're being held up. Like I said, they look like they're just blowing or falling in the distance. Yeah. And great colour contrast, great composition, great light shining. And I love this figure and I love this image. Superb.
Thank you. Because I think it's in terms of the colour palette on this figure, it's quite autumnal anyway. So it does suit photographing in the autumn period.
Absolutely.
So if you have one, go for it. Grab it. Go out in autumn. Get it amongst the autumn leaves.
Yeah.
And see what you can get.
Find some moss, find some rock, find somewhere outside, take some shots and make a slide.
Yes. Here we have image number 3. This green demonic character is one of my army builds. And this was taken in Birchton Woods, which is in West Kent, kind of near Tunbridge Wells. Beautiful area. Within that area, there's and I will show some photos from this part of the woods on the next few shows. But there's an amazing climbing area within the area of this woodland called Harrison's Rocks. People come from all over to climb there. It's like a sandstone rocks about 50, 60 foot high. It's like a mecca of climbing. But behind that, there's an incredible woodland. And this had been after some heavy rain, so quite a lot of it was waterlogged, to the point where my walk in the woods had to stop because like the entire area was just become waterlogged. So I didn't really have waders or Wellington boots, so I had to stop. So I saw that, I thought, well, it looks quite swampish. If I had Man-Thing or something, I probably would have photographed this as well. That would be perfect.
Sense. Yeah.
I might have to do a little collab with them at some point soon. But this was a perfect environment to get this character knee deep in some murky waters. And what I like with this is, which I like photographing puddles anyway, is for the reflections.
Oh, of course.
So you can see the reflection in the back there of the trees. Just makes for a kind of a richer shot in terms of detail and content in it. Yeah, there are some leaves onto the left of the image which are probably a bit too big, but I wasn't too bothered. I just wanted to get them in there to get some shots. This was natural lighting. There was no extra lighting needed, which is handy, so I didn't have to get any lights wet or the little mini tripods wet. But if I had to, I would have. It's fine. Yeah, one thing I'm glad about this image was when I first had this figure, I didn't have any of the strap going across the chest. So I just had 2 pauldrons on bare flesh, which I know a lot of us have done before.
Oh yeah.
But looking back, it's like, how does that make sense? How are they attached to him?
Stapled into his shoulders.
They've been stabbed into his back. So I'm glad, like, this has the chest strap to kind of make the pauldrons make some kind of sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, so natural daylight, a great figure, reflections in the water, in a great woodland. Those were the only ingredients needed for this tasty meal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Really digging this, Fires. Yeah, this is
Thank you.
Solid, man. I love the colours. I love the reflection of the environment onto the actual water itself. And it feels like he's either emerging from being submerged, or it looks like he could be waiting for enemies to turn up. Maybe he's about to dunk his head under the water to actually surprise people. But he looks like he's having a bit of a casual thought here, you know. Who knows? Who knows what the story is here? But I'm digging it. I'm here for it.
It's lurking with ill intent.
Indeed. And again, this is another picture where the colours blend quite beautifully into the environment. He can be quite easily camouflaged where he is right now. I mean, from a distance, from even, a few hundred metres, someone might not even clock him standing where he's standing, depending on how dense the terrain is. Yeah, solid shot. Having him centre really draws your eyes to him. And I love the lighting as well, because the lighting shining on his face and then the side profile. Yeah, he looks like he might even be practicing, you know, or he's about to practice, you know, swinging his sword and some fighting techniques in the actual water itself. Clearly, he hasn't swung his sword for maybe a few seconds because the water is quite still. But yeah, really dig this shot. Want to go to this place as well, actually.
Oh, you'll love it. The sandstone part is amazing.
I'm in. Let's do it. And you know what? Every time I see an awesome image of this demon or these demons, I'm always tempted to delve into acquiring one.
Yeah.
You know,
do you know,
solid.
in hindsight, now looking at this shot, I wish I would have done a series of images where you can just see the tips, just the tips of his like green horns popping out the water. Then the next image, but maybe like his eyes coming out,
like a slow progression of the scene.
I know the military guys call it a seal reveal, when like the soldier comes out of the water.
Yeah.
And then maybe like water's like chest deep and then waist deep. So I'll have a series of shots of him actually emerge from the water. In the future, I'll try and get something like that.
To show the journey of the movement.
Yeah, kind of...
that'd be awesome, you should do that.
And as I mentioned in previous shows, you know, there's no problem about getting him in the wet.
No, because why? He can become dry.
Yeah, they're waterproof.
So give it a try.
It was fine.
Yeah, awesome, man. Nicely done.
Thank you. Image number 4. I don't know why I said it like that.
Image.
Here we have... Yo, this was a great shot. I'm not gassing myself up.
It's
but
wicked stunning.
I was just kind of like glad I got this one. The Legendary Barbarian. You can see it's one of my favourite figures. I photographed it quite a lot.
Just a bit.
This was down on the River Thames, where low tide. So there's a great spot that Elijah showed me, not too far from where he lives. Kind of area called Rotherhithe Beach.
Yeah, it's like a while.
Yeah.
Just a nice walk away.
You got a view of the Shard and Tower Bridge from there. Yeah, so not too far. It's an amazing bit of environment. On one of the previous shows, there was a shot that Elijah showed of an orc. It's the same area, just a few feet away. So when the tide goes out in the Thames, there's this incredible little areas of environment, like essentially dios, that are revealed to you with when the water's gone.
Absolutely.
And this was kind of like I think it might have been an old like ballast from a ship, because it looked like a huge iron crate with like sections, and it was kind of half filled with water. It's also been there for quite some time with the amount of moss and things on it, but just perfect to stick a figure in, just below knee level, with the sun. I think it was probably coming on in the evening maybe, and so the sun was starting to get a bit lower on one side, so you're kind of getting closer to the golden hour. Above his head you can see a huge chain which was attached to that, what I believe to be like a ballast thing from an old ship.
Remnants of the past.
Yeah, which scale-wise wasn't an issue, because if you've ever seen like a ship anchor on like a huge ship, like they are enormous.
Oh, absolutely.
So the scale wasn't too much of a problem there. This was just another one of those situations where natural light was more than enough. Angled, this is another thing with weapons, how you angle the weapon in their hand. So if I had that angled wrong, the light wouldn't have hit the face of that axe, and it would have been kind of in the shade, which is not an issue. Maybe if you want to catch the light on the sharp edge, but there's such a beautifully sculpted axe, I wanted the light to hit and show the detail of the sculpt that our good friends have done on this one. And I think that was relatively early when I got that Legendary Barbarian, because since that it's gone through many versions. It's been a pagan warrior, draconian. It's been all kinds.
He's had many outfits,
different looks, but
and bodies.
Yeah, but it's kind of gone back to that look now, because now I've got like a 2.0 of that pagan character, which I used. What's his name? The Gaspar? Not Gaspar.
The Builder of...
No, The Ungrateful.
Oh. You got the Revenant, you got...
Something The Ungrateful. It's a tribute figure.
Oh, okay.
With the orange robes and the orc teeth.
Oh.
He's got the bees, like a monk type character.
Oh, yeah, the Gaspar.
Is it Gaspar?
Yeah.
Yeah, Gaspar.
Yeah. George Gaspar, tribute figure.
Yeah, so...
The monk.
So, yeah, my Barbarian's gone back to its original form, because it's such a good look. It had to go back to that form eventually. So yeah, low tide, River Thames, figure, golden hour, natural light, get them a bit wet. That was it. That's what I took for this shot. And I was quite happy with this one. Hence why I'm showing it to you.
Another fantastic image, E.5's. What I say is one of my favourite locations as well. For me, Les Nez is still up there, and earlier today I was saying Eynsford has to match Les Nez at this point. Actually, to be fair, Les Nez is still number one, but Eynsford is close because there's so many options there.
Les Nez is so much bigger, isn't it? You've got more options.
Yeah, there's just way more to see, and but they're both special in their own way. I would say this location is awesome, and also time's very fleeting when you're there, right? Because we're at the mercy of the tide.
Yeah.
So it is a tricky one to manoeuvre. Faisal's photographed me before where you can see the waters rising up.
He was almost surrounded on a little bit of land by water.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if you've ever watched the Crystal Maze.
Yeah.
I was like, get out.
Time limit, yeah. But that's what makes
stuck.
it even more special to capture these amazing images.
Yeah.
And like Fai said, in terms of the way the axe is, the light is shining on the axe, you can see it very clearly. You can see the pattern, the design on the axe. And if it was in a different position, then it would be overshadowed.
Yeah, you'd lose it.
Because there wouldn't be light shining on it. I love the way his boots, his legs are in the actual water. And the chain in the background. And like Fai said, it doesn't matter how big the chain is, because you get chains that are huge in comparison to us human beings. And this is in mythos. Who's to know? Who's to say how massive the chains are?
Yeah, he might be deep in like a giant realm.
Exactly, yeah.
Huge people.
That chain in the background might be a giant's bracelet that's been left and forgotten.
That's quite terrifying.
Isn't that amazing to think about, right?
It's like a Lilliput.
Yeah. So who knows what it is, However, yeah.
Or
Fantastic
Bobbing
image.
Nag. Can't remember which one.
Which one?
In Gulliver's Travel, you got Lilliput and Bobbing Nag.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one, like he's big or small in.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
you
you never know what that is in the background, and it works either way. And I would also say, I love the reflection of him in the water, even though you can barely see him. It shows you how mucky it is because you can't actually see the reflection clearly.
Yeah, the reflection almost looks a bit perverse.
It is, yeah.
But that's just how it was.
Yeah, if you look underneath the blade of the axe, it looks a bit suspicious. However, that's his loincloth. Solid image, great positioning, great composition, beautiful lighting, great setting, and I look forward to getting back down to that area because we haven't been there in a while, have we, Fuzz? Awesome.
Shots like this are more about time and place.
Pretty much, yeah.
Put any figure there, and it would have been, you can get a decent shot.
Yeah.
But just time, place, and location, knowing where to go and when to go. Experiment, people. Get out there and find some places.
Get outside. If you want to see the image in its entirety, then feel free to go on to Faisal's Instagram page, because again, this is cropped, so you can't see the full image here.
Here we have my last image of the day. This was taken in Surrey, in an area called Limpsfield Chart, or Limpsfield Common. Another beautiful extensive woodland. You all know I love the woods, and more moss. So this is one particular part of the wood where there's just a stunning moss covered ground, and it's very spongy. Like your foot will drop like a good 5 inches into the ground, and it's like a trampoline. It's like bouncy.
Sounds fun to sleep on.
Yeah. If I had to, I'd happily sleep there. So like a nice mossy environment. And here I have the Barbarian Legion Builder 2, the second one, with this, I don't know if any of you can guess, the soft goods and the weapon he's holding in the background. Some of you probably work it out, but it's from the NECA Shaman Predator. So his soft goods. And
always reminds me of Rambo. That
yes,
always,
right? very, very much so.
First Blood.
Yeah. It's very much that. And the axe, like the skull with the axe in it, which is a great weapon. I don't know whether you eagle-eyed people out there can see the tie, the belt he's got around his soft goods. But if you know, you know. It's one of the ties from the packaging. from the packaging I got it in. I actually kept a lot of them, not just for figures, just for around the house. Like they're quite handy to have around.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I just grabbed it on before going out that day because it just helped cinch in the soft goods. And in front we have Kador or Kador, depends how you want to pronounce it.
Kador.
Great barbaric figure. That was the first and last time I ever used that head, because I've gone to a skull head now. So he's kind of like, he's in league with the other gladiator guy you saw earlier with the skull head. He's another one of those. I love the skin colour. It tends to photograph really well. Really bronzed skin colour. Looks like he's going to do a bodybuilding show with that with that colour. And that huge axe. The warhammer. Now looking at that shot, obviously there's two things that bug me in terms of the weaponry. One, he's got a sword with no sheath on his back. So if he was to start running, he'd probably stab the back of his own leg.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a sheath for that sword. I just stuck it in the slot in the belt across the body.
You'd never do that now.
No. Yeah, this shot's at least like 2 years old, maybe more. And with the Warhammer, as I mentioned in my last shot with the Barbarian with the axe, I wish now I'd turned the head of the Warhammer bit so the detailed side caught the light, and it would have had the similar effect to the axe. However, the detail part of it's in the shade. Although it's not bad enough to kind of ruin the image, but that's just looking back now. I probably would have just turned the hammer head around to illuminate some of that detail. But as I say, it's not that deep.
No. It's not as deep as the moss.
No, it's not as deep as the Thames either. But as it was spongy moss, kind of a bit of a theme for me, a spongy moss today.
Yeah.
But again, this took ages to get them to stand, because the second I'd set them, obviously the moss would kind of like rebound. So it took a bit of patience, but I could have cheated it. I could have used the bottom end of the Warhammer handle, kind of like resting on the ground. But sometimes I like the challenge, because when you do get the shot, like, it's a bit more rewarding.
Yeah.
So you're able to get them to stand like real people, other than kind of, if I had to, you can cheat it, but this one worked well. But this is a great little area because the scale works well, because they're kind of like skinny kind of saplings and trees there. So to them, they look like full-size trees. To us, they look very small, but the scale worked for them. So you don't always need these extensive woodlands. You can find, I don't know, a friend's garden. You might have like just the right scale bush.
Yeah, a little bit of greenery.
Then you're like, oh, can I come back next time with some figures and take some shots? Like, you never know. You'd be quite surprised. I mean, I'm sure if you go to a garden centre and stuck a figure in a plant pot, like, you might be able to get a great shot.
Yeah, they're not going to chase you out.
You may get some weird looks, like, sir, what are you doing? But, it is what it is. But so, yeah, environments like that, they're out there. Maybe not if you're in Arkansas, middle of the desert, but like...
But then you have desert.
Yeah, you get different environments. But there are environments out there that don't be too afraid to just get out there and have a go, try. You may not think it, but you get out there and you'll find areas you didn't even know actually worked with your figures. So like me and Elijah, you start to see the world in 1/12 scale. So because where I go out and I take the regular photographs of the environment, like my woodland photos, like I keep jumping between scales from like real life scale to 1/12 scale. So I'll be like, oh, it's a really cool landscape shot. I'll get some figures and I'll get some shots. And then I'll be like, ooh, look at that spot there. That could be good for figure.
Yeah.
And then just have a go. Get someone there, pre-pose them.
Constant location scouting.
Yeah, I mean, these were relatively simply posed. Like, you'll never ever see me pose a figure with the knees locked out or the arms locked out, like straight up and down.
No, come on.
I mean, like, I think every shot I've ever taken, the knees and elbows are slightly bent, and there may be like a slight twist or a tilt in with the body with that waist articulation, just to give a bit more movement, a bit more realism to the form.
I feel like unless the character was being told to stand to attention in the line or something.
Yeah, unless they're on parade.
It wouldn't make sense, would it?
Yeah, so...
to have them not bent.
Yeah, and again, it's slightly challenging terrain, so they're going to be careful how they put their feet. So make it make sense, and hopefully you get a good shot, but keep practicing.
Another cracker here, Fires. When did you take this picture?
This was at least 2 years ago.
Since you're one of your early ones.
Yeah.
And that is a clear indication of one of Faisal or mine when it comes to knowing how old the picture is, when we see an unsheathed sword in the back, you know. It's because at that time, I don't think they were selling them where you could have a sword sheathed, right?
No, and that particular sword didn't have one, so you just worked with what we had.
We can only speak for that sword itself, yeah, because, yeah, do you know what it is? I feel like it's nice to have some realism when it comes to the figures, when it comes to the weapons, in many ways, but we're talking about the weapons. And yeah, and having an unsheathed sword, you can get away with that if it's like a little dagger in the corner, like, and if someone's got clothes on or whatever. But even then, you think you're gonna stab yourself in the leg.
Full length sword, you wouldn't want to run around with that on your back.
Yeah, no, so it wouldn't make sense. But yeah, this image is solid. Love moss, as you know, especially when it's thick like that. However, as Fire said, they are difficult to keep upright at times.
Moss is boss.
Moss is boss, and so falling over is not fun when you're taking images, especially if your battery's low. Yeah. Or whether it be on your professional camera or your phone. However, at the same time, it's worth it to get these kind of shots. You know, and that is a part of the joy when it comes to what we do, that time limit. You know, whether you're contesting with the elements, whether it may be the lighting, whether it may be the low battery, like, it's so worth it, because even today, Fires and I in Eynsford Castle, you know, it was baking hot, still is. You know, we're turning the fan off every time we record, and then turning it back on right afterwards. However, it's worth it when you get these kind of shots, because it's the effort that you pour into it, whether it's bending your knees, getting into some sort of terrain crevice to plant the figures, you know, and the moss can definitely be tricky, but it looks amazing and it has a perfectly mythic look to it. You know, that's that mythic appearance. And the contrast with the trees in the background and a little bit of sky, having them in the center, yeah, solid image. And I need to get to this place once.
It's a little bit, it's giving me vibes of Ewoks from
Endor.
Yeah,
the forest moon of Endor.
Yeah, it's kind of like, if that had like some standing water, then it'd be more like
I know what you mean.
Yoda's gaff.
Yeah, Dagobah.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is kind of like Endor-ish.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you had like Star Wars figures, you could do like a great, like a...
You really could, yeah.
Chase scene with the things.
Yeah, training sequences. You could do, like you said, a really good call there. You could have the Ewoks fighting. Yeah, I get that. Oh, to be honest, I know what you mean about Dagobah or Dagobah.
Yeah.
Forest... Dagobah? Yeah, Dagobah, where Yoda's hiding out, basically.
Yeah.
And
Yoda's yard.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, Yoda is a mythic... I would say Yoda is a cosmic goblin.
He's kind of a space goblin.
He's
really.
green. He's got the ears. He's little in stature. He's pretty much an epic goblin, you know. Yeah. But I know what you mean. Yeah, terrain wise, I definitely see that. So these kind of environments. Yeah, I mean, of course, we're more focused on Mythic Legions figures. But yeah, if you're into your Star Wars figures, then
that would work well.
I've definitely got a few Star Wars figures. That's actually a good call for us. If I were to have Ewoks, then this would be the place.
Oh, that'd be good. Little Ewok scouting party.
I do have a Grogu, aka Baby Yoda, so I might have to go to this place and pose him.
Yeah. We'll go there again.
Let's do it. For my first image of this episode, we have... Well, first of all, the location is in Stave Hill, which is an ecology park, not far from me. And I decided to use one of my customs. This is a character of the flock. For me, he's one of my elite members of the flock. And for me, I just felt like I wanted to show a patrol, a squad as such, walking through this foresty terrain. I say walking through, you know, traipsing through, climbing through, because this terrain isn't flat, as you can see. And I thought, you know, let me bring one of my foxes, one of my animals, you know. You know, the Papo, is it Schleckwein? Schleck?
Might be a Papo one. Yeah, it's either Papo or Schleck.
Yeah, Schleck, that's it. I was just getting the name of the brand. And so they scale up really well. I've talked about it before, and you watch Faisal and I's Instagrams. I mean, I'm using it. Faisal, you're getting more into that, aren't you? Like using like the critters.
I've seen how good they are.
So much fun to do. And so I thought, you know what, Silona's flock, they protect nature. You know, that is one of the staples of what they do, and they are of the woodland realms. So here I thought, plant a fox in there, and you can see they're traipsing through this terrain, and I wanted to get the pose to feel really natural in terms of his movement, so I tilted the head a certain way.
Works.
You know, and then you've got one leg, cheers Vice, you've got one leg propped up, and then you've got him clutching onto his dagger with his left hand, and with his right hand he's firmly gripping his axe just in case. It looks like they may be heading to enemy territory, or maybe they've heard there's intruders around and they've come to patrol. And it's the elites, which is what I want this patrol to be. It's probably going to get heavy very, very soon with formidable foes. And there was hardly any editing needed for this image as well. Like what Faiz was saying earlier, sometimes the lighting's just so on point that we don't need to really do much editing. I got bitten up a lot doing this as well. I was here the previous day with Faisal, funny enough, and I went back the next day.
Oh, you went back?
Yeah, I went back the next day. I said, right, I need to take some more images. I was location scouting in my mind, which Faisal and I do all the time, really be like, right, I've had enough for today, or I'm tired, or the lighting's not right, or my phone's going to die, the camera's going to die, whatever, but we'll come back. And I came back the next day, because this place is like half an hour, 40 minutes from where I live. So yeah, and that was the image here, and you can see we got some moss there, we got terrain, and like Faisal was saying, in terms of scale, because of the height of the stems and whatnot, then the stems in themselves, it's perfect to scale for the figures. And so yeah, I feel like it just works really well, the color contrast of the armor that they've got on and the lighting shining on his face, and then of course the terrain with the fox to the left. What do you think, Vaz?
What a great image. Yeah, I'm glad you went back the next day.
Cheers, man.
Because you got some killer shots. Love that head sculpt.
Yeah, it's
There's
awesome.
so much detail packed into that sculpt. Not just the beard, but in his hair as well. It's fantastic. And I don't know whether it's the actual paint, the way it's painted, but his eyes look like they're looking up and to the right. So where the figure in front and the fox are heading to is like he's looking in that direction. So it really tells that story. Again, with your patrol shots, with them, like the more you look, the more you see. At first glance, I was like, oh, cool, 2 figures and a fox. I was like, hang on, there's more figures behind him. Yeah, so you kind of see like the shield and things of another figure on the back. Which again, it's not always important to get everything on everyone. Like the fact that you can see someone there is enough. That there's more than 3. There may be behind the out of camera. There may be like another 10.
It is important to bear that in mind. Otherwise, we obsess over attempting to get every character clearly in the image.
Yeah, in the end, you end up giving up. But yeah, with the color scheme on the armor, you can tell, and it's heavier armor, so you can tell these are more important.
Yeah,
these are like higher level, as you say, like elite. Red and gold, very regal. It gives you that kind of royal feel. So they look like the king's guard, like his number one go-to people that protect him. So that goes. The fox is a brilliant touch because, as you say, like they are of the flock and they're with the environment. Like that fox could be like like a scout. He could be sniffing out things they can't smell. The sensitive canine type animals are way better than ours.
That's well spotted as well, because the thought process behind putting the fox there as well was he is sniffing out something for them. Or
that's what I get from it. Yeah, for sure.
That's,
And yeah, in the foreground you have some leaves that are kind of like almost faded out, where they kind of soft focus. Not an issue, it's fine. And in terms of the scale, like the plant to the left of the dwarf, like if that was our scale, that could be like a sapling, like a young tree or something. So the scale's fine. Then there are plants. There are plants even on this planet that have existed that are like way bigger than humans.
Yeah, fascinating.
So scale's not always as much of an issue as you originally think.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, overall works really well as a good bit of storytelling.
Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Appreciate that. We'll have to return to that place together at some point too.
It's a good spot.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And it's your go-to local place.
I'm telling you, mate.
Which is good.
Nice and local. Image number 2 from me. We have Rakagor in Lesnes Abbey. And for me, this is probably the purest definition of editing was not needed. I still did a little bit of editing, however, it was really not needed. It's coming out a bit brighter here in the edit than the actual image itself, and you can find the image in its true edited form, via my Instagram. But yeah, for me, simple shot, and this goes to what Faisal and I've talked about before, where it's saying it doesn't have to be complicated. I haven't even got the whole figure in this shot, as you can clearly see. This isn't cropped, this is just the image itself. And his colours, coupled with the colours in the background, was what I was going for, a nice contrast. It's probably nearly every colour in the color chart in this image. And yeah, very simple, wasn't tricky. The only edit I really did was probably add to the saturation slightly and make the eye and the mouth glow. And that's pretty much it. What do you think, Faz?
Yeah, like, I think it is great in terms of colour palette, where you have almost every colour in it. Contrast is great, where you have like the blues and the kind of like almost turquoise greens of the body, but on that backdrop of like rich reds, oranges, yellows, and a bit of green, and also you got a bit of the blue sky, which complements his skin colour. So you kind of got blue, the rich autumnal colours, and then more blue with the figure. The eye pops out, his teeth look good. Yeah, it's I know it's your favourite location.
Yeah,
but
easily.
When you have favourite locations, it's very hard to get it's almost impossible to get a bad shot.
Yeah.
Because when you go there, like, you're just on fire. Everything's working.
You know where you want to go, right?
Did you use portrait mode on that shot?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that what that essentially does is like equivalent with the camera would be like I think a low f-stop. Nate, Trevor, correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, to give more contrast of foreground and kind of blur in the background.
Yeah.
To kind of pulls that figure out. Yeah, portrait mode is perfect because that does that straight away, and yeah, you get shots like this. Is that like soft goods with his under like the loincloth area?
Yeah, you got his loincloth there.
Yeah, I like that soft goods. It's nice.
Yeah, and then the sword just in his back there as well. That just rested inside. You can't see if it's sheathed or not.
Yeah, so it's not an issue.
Although we don't know how strong his hide is. You know.
I mean, that thick reptilian skin.
Yeah, you know, the sword might not even pierce his skin.
It might be an issue for him.
Yeah, and it's kind of sort of stuck in the back there, so, you know, yeah, let's just say it wouldn't affect him. And of course, we have pauldrons that look like they are kept on by the belt straps.
Oh yeah, works perfectly with it. The crossbody strap.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works well.
And this is one of the few figures that I've not really customized. You know, I've got another Arakagor since then that I've customized, but
yeah,
he's such a perfect figure for me. I mean, I would say he's in the top 5 Mythic Legions figures ever made, yeah.
Strong words.
For me, easily. But cheers, Fires, yeah. Amazing to go to this place and, yeah, barely any idea needed.
Just another great example of a great sculpted figure in a good location with natural light. Job done.
Thank you, Fires, for turning off the fan. It'd have been very noisy, guys. For my third image, we have what has fastly become one of my favourite customised figures. We have a Valiant Knight body with an anamorphic tiger head painted by the talented Mark Calvo. And this head is either from Moiway or it's Jason Demon, I think. Anyways, it's not about that. You know, you can find on Instagram, you can see all the links and you can see who it is that's behind the creation of the head sculpt. Anyways, as we can see, this was in Stave Hill. Another image in Stave Hill. And this was the day before when I was with Faisal, before I then came back. Because
3 days in a row.
Yeah. Oh no, 2 days. 2 days.
2 days.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Not the day before Faisal. This was the day before with Faisal.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. But it could have been 3 days in a row. I could have gone back the third day. I had not been bitten so much. Of course, be careful, guys, when you're out and about in hot climate. You can get bitten when you're next to swampy, stagnant water.
Yeah.
But here we have, again, a very simple shot. You know, the terrain is just perfect for the scale of the figures that we have here, and you see a sword has been drawn. The way his foot's rested on the rock, you feel like he's about to leap into action. And it's very simple. Again, very minimal editing was needed here. I did do some editing with the mouth, with the eye, and with the saturation. However, yeah, minimal editing, perfectly lit, and, you know, as the kids say, the younger generation, and lit up, yeah, in both ways. And here we have an image that I'm very proud of and one of my favourite figures. Faisal, what do you think?
Does he have a name?
I haven't named him, you know.
Oh.
No. I think I did at one point. I forgot, but I'll have to look into my notes.
Jeff.
Jeff, with three Fs.
Yeah. This is a very recent shot.
It is a very recent shot, yeah.
I love before I go into the shot itself, like I like the fur, soft goods under the pauldrons.
Cheers, brother. Yeah.
Because obviously it's like a twofold thing. It's not just like a warmth thing, insulation level.
Yeah.
But it's also like padding.
Of course.
So the extra layer of kind of like padding between the pauldrons and the other armour, it kind of buffers blows from war hammers and axes and things.
Yeah.
That could make sense. If I was a cheese ball, which I am, I'd say it's great with that.
Tony the Tiger.
That Tony the Tiger head is brilliant. Great expression on that face too. Fierce.
Yeah. Stunning.
We like expressions, don't we?
We do.
On head sculpts.
We want expressions on head sculpts, yes.
We do like that a lot. Valiant Knight, you cannot go wrong with that one. I don't have one. At some point probably will do. But that particular kind of like colour tone they've used on that armour.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It looks so realistic.
Yeah, superb.
Pose on point. Just kind of like about to shift his body weight onto that front foot, maybe to step up onto that rock or climb over. Mm-hmm. Or he's just leaning to kind of like stop and take stock of what's ahead of him, the view. Yeah, great colours, great contrast of hard and soft, which sounds a bit weird. But like in the foreground, you have the because it's in focus and highlighted with the sunlight, the hardness of the rocks. And then you have the contrast of that softness in the background, which again, portrait mode.
Yeah.
So
portrait mode again.
I think that with the different f-stop. So yeah, softer background, which really helps to like pop that figure. I think just about every phone with the camera has that.
Yeah.
And even on like on my camera, it's got a flip out viewfinder screen, and you touch it like you would do a phone. So put your finger and the little cross comes out where you want the focus to go, and it'll go there.
Yeah.
So that's exactly the same thing as kind of a portrait mode. Yeah, it works really well. I'm sure you give this guy like a badass name at some point.
Yeah, I believe I've got some names.
He definitely deserves one.
Yeah, he does.
He's such a cool looking figure.
He does. He is fantastic.
And, yeah, I can see why now this has become one of your favourites.
Oh yeah, you know me.
And if I can see correctly, I do believe I can see a scabbard on his back.
Absolutely.
Where his sword would go.
Yeah, sword and sheath.
So yeah, this makes all the sense.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
That sword today, that very same sword broke because I did not pack it correctly.
Oh, that was the one.
That's the sword that broke.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I mean, it broke in the actual scabbard as well. But I can glue it and I can fix it.
Broke a bit, didn't it?
And if I can't fix it to where it's going to work properly, I'll use it for a scene where a blade has been broken.
Yeah.
But it's all good. Thank you, Fires. I appreciate it, brother.
Nice.
Here's my fourth image for this episode. And here you see a Tyrannid gene stealer, a terrifying Tyrannid gene stealer, which is what I like to call them. And again, this is in Stave Hill. Now, this became a part of the same setup for the last image that you just saw. But for me, I was so delighted with what I'd done. I was setting them up image by image. Sometimes I do that, I'll set up an image, and sometimes I'm like, let me get a few shots and close-ups of this particular part of the image before adding to it, just in case I not change my mind, but like the wind blows or something goes wrong or whatever. And it was, the sun's been really warm, so I'm thinking, maybe I'll do it because on my phone maybe start acting up or for whatever reason, or it's just great as a solo shot, but just to let you know, this is part of that same setup for the figure in that last image. Anyways, now as Faisal was talking about earlier, you gotta get mucky, you gotta get dirty, you gotta plunge your figure sometimes into absolute filth and muck. However, you can clean it, it's all good. I had wet wipes. By the way, I always recommend, if you're gonna do this with one of your figures, you should have some sort of tissue, wet wipes especially, because you don't want to bring back some, dodgy rash or disinfected, because this is stagnant water, so it can be quite dangerous if you're not careful. Chances are you'll be fine, but we go along the Thames and there's all kinds of unsavoury things inside of the Thames, and this is stagnant water. This is like a swampy area in Stave Hill. Anyways, so terrifying gene stealer from Warhammer 40k. It looks like he's been submerged and he's just come out very slowly, creeping. Not burst out, otherwise the water would be moving differently, but just sort of slowly creeping out towards someone, and that someone in this case was the Tiger Anamorphic Valiant Knight Warrior. What I'd done here as well was I did a little bit of editing. I wanted the eye to glow, to really stand out and have those piercing eyes to be even more terrifying. And also I decided, with the use of I think it was a rock I used, just to wet him up a little bit, because I didn't want to put his whole body inside of this muck. I just thought I'll put what I need to put in there. And if you look on the left hand, there's actually still a little bit of fake blood on there from the last time I used him. But hey, he could have caught a splinter or cut himself on the way, or that could be someone else's blood. Who knows?
Just killed someone.
Exactly. So yeah, this is the image here. As you can see, the lighting hitting it, and that's that. And I'm really happy with it. What do you think, Vice?
Winner, swampy dinner.
Cheers.
even though this is a very recent shot, this has quickly become one of my favourites of yours.
Thanks, bro.
It's absolute class. I think in that last shot with Tony the Tiger.
Yeah, they were great.
We'll call him Tony until he's got a name.
Tony.
But where his foot was on the rock, just out of shot in front of the rock, that was where the water's edge, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
very close. Yeah,
just close to that. Tyranids, outstanding figure from McFarlane.
Yeah.
Really, really good fun to pose.
So much fun.
And this shot, like, that's with the highlight to the eye, was just the perfect amount of editing.
Cheers, bro.
Just to kind of bring that eye out, kind of that glowing.
Yeah, we've got to know when to
soul
stop,
behind
haven't we?
it.
We've got to know when too much is too much
It's
with editing.
it's surprisingly easy to over edit shots. So
For sure.
sometimes, most times, less is more. That slimy green pond scum just works perfectly. It looks like he's just like quietly emerged out of that, about to pounce on someone. But I think Tony has other ideas.
He does. With his sword.
I think he might make sushi out of this guy. But yeah, I mean, this guy's armoured, to be fair. Yeah, and Elijah, remember, like, you had to get a bit messy because you had kind of like 1 foot in the swamp water and 1 foot on the land.
I did.
As you were like slowly sinking. You were trying to get your shots.
Yeah, I had to watch my footing because one wrong move and I'm falling straight into that.
Yeah. If your ankle went, you'd just topple straight into the water.
Yeah, it wasn't that deep, but
no.
it wouldn't be pleasant to fall into that.
You would have stunk and been a complete mess.
Indeed.
But yeah, I mean, worthwhile to get a shot like this.
Yeah.
And I know there was a series, you got like a wider shot with, I think, 3 or 4 Tyranids.
Yeah, 4 of them.
And then the character on the rock.
I posted that one.
And then obviously you went in and did individuals of them.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad you did.
Yeah, for me, the individual shots are better than the wide.
Yeah.
More for the detail.
But yeah, I mean, Tyranids you can't really go wrong with because they're a good sculpt. They capture the light well. Yeah. Which you can see on his head. Mm-hmm. He's got enough sculpt to catch the light.
Faisal and I definitely need to combine our Tyranids because Faisal has a few himself.
Yeah, I started doing a bit of a paint job of mine. Yeah. Probably a year ago. I've never finished. Yeah. So I want like the backs of them to be kind of more black and their inside to be white, so kind of like a two-tone. Mm. Maybe they're like being burnt or like a different species of Tyranid. But yeah, at some point we will get them all together and have some crazy battle royale.
Oh, it must, yeah. Yeah. But they photograph so well, and obviously Faisal, has several lights that you use sometimes, isn't it, Faisal? And I know that the lighting on the Tyranid just looks amazing when you get it, when you capture it at the right angle. Yeah, a bit of light, a bit of smoke. Yeah. Very cosmic. Cheers, brother. Very cosmic. Feeling alive, image number 5. As you can see, we have a legendary barbarian here sporting his brown hairpiece. Wow. With a Duban cape. Very simple, not too much gone on here in terms of customization. And this is where Faisal mentioned earlier where his image is along the Thames, in that same area. As you can see, this could be some wasteland, this could be some rocky terrain where Conan's on the hunt. But Conan's a very stoic character, and he's a very deep thinker. And for me, that was the intention behind this pose. He's taking a moment to think about what he wants, whether it's something very deep and intimate or it's as simple as, I'm hungry. I think he might be thinking about crown, the reply do before, or whatever it is that kind of wants to think about in this moment. It's probably food. Yeah, it's a very simple shot, and it was important for me to make sure that the top of what looks like some sort of mountain piece, but the terrain was in the shot there, with the sky just above it. And yeah, he's centered here as well. I do like centering my images. A lot of the time I'll not center them if a character's emerging from somewhere or I really want to show more of the terrain. But yeah, very simple shot here, nothing complicated. I remember he did get a little bit wet. I think it's because I dropped him into some sort of water, but it worked. And that was that. And here's the image, very simple, but effective. Barely any editing. Here you go. Guys. The legendary barbarian, he does like to dye his hair, doesn't he? He does, yes. Flip from black to brown to blonde. Yes, he does, yeah. He does. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, like, if that was live action, like the wind blowing his cape and kind of looking away into the distance. Yeah. Like, it was like an establishing shot of a movie or like an end scene of a movie. Yeah. Like at the end. Yeah.
You know, he's done what needs to be done, and he's just standing there taking it all in.
I love that you said that, Fires, as well. Just to add to your point about the cape blowing, this cape is wired, isn't it? So I we could have gone in that direction as well. Maybe it was about to.
Yeah, I think we both probably can play a bit more with that now.
Absolutely.
Kind of like, you know, into the wind. Kind of
the wired capes are a game changer.
Yeah. I can't imagine life without
Big
that
up Darla Ackerman. And
Darla.
4 Horseman Studios, of course.
Yeah. Again, foreground with the rock, almost bigger around the figure, and the softer background. Again, the joys of portrait mode, which is kind of like does the f-stop work for you. You know, I just realised in the background at like foot level, there's what's probably like reflections of light and stuff. It looks like a tentacled creature.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that until you mentioned it just now.
Like between his legs, it's probably like his head.
I know what you mean.
And then to the sides, like there's like twisted round tentacles, like a big octopus.
Yeah.
So he kind of looks like he's about to get attacked by some kind of like Cthulhu type creature in the back.
Maybe whatever he's hunting is about to attempt to hunt him.
Now that image kind of freaks me out because I've kind of freaked out by octopuses or octopi.
Maybe it was and we didn't notice at the time.
Oh God, don't say that. But yeah, that actually adds to the figure if your mind goes that way. But a great shot. I know we talked about dynamic posing and things, which most of the time we do that because our figures are kind of like capturing the movement, whether they're walking, in combat, fighting, climbing, whatever. But this, I mean, you could still get a pose like that. I don't want to say wrong because nothing's wrong. It's all comparative.
Yeah.
It's up to you how you want to pose. But like, if you look at the knees, there is still some bend because you can see a gap between the knee joint.
Yeah.
So there's still a little bit of a bend in the knee, and probably a slight bend in each elbow. So they're not locked out like he's having a seizure. So it still works well that you can see the weight he's carrying because he's a muscle dude. Like you can see the weight in him, and that shows by having a little bend in the knee and the elbow there. So even though it's a straight up and down pose, it still works in terms of reality when it comes to movement. And body. So yeah, even then you're still killing it, and success.
Cheers, brother.
A good shot.
Thank you. Gracias. Thank you, guys. That was episode 5 of
Londinium Legions.
Is Your Reason.
Watch it otherwise.
You can see I've removed my Shooting the Shelf t-shirt. Not because it's not an epic t-shirt, but because it is hot. The fan is playing in the background and that gives you a clear indication.
Where we had to turn the fan off and close the windows because of the noise.
Yeah.
I think it was probably like up in the 40s.
As soon as we left my bedroom, Fires, when it just completely cool in all other rooms in the house.
We suffered for your enjoyment.
We did.
I hope it was worth it.
We did. Pain is temporary. Londinium Legions is forever. And ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Stay tuned, guys. We have many more episodes coming.
Plenty more to come. We're never going to run out of pictures because as you saw in this episode, like this picture we only took a few days ago. So some fresh ones. Down the line, we might actually show some of our very first images.
Yeah.
We're not too proud to show some of that. It kind of shows a bit of a journey. Like everyone that's done this, you're all going to have that journey, unless you're already a professional photographer.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've switched gears from photographing one thing to another thing. I imagine you're going to be good straight away. But a lot of us, as I once said to a man in the gym, it doesn't matter where you start, it's where you finish. It doesn't matter, you might think, oh my God, these pictures are terrible. Just stick with it. Some of my first pictures, quite a few of them I've actually deleted. I kept some for old time's sake. Every now and again, it's interesting to go back and then you kind of like see your mistakes, thinking, oh, I over-edited or too much contrast or, you know, everything's just way too much now. I could kind of pull back, soften an image. Because again, in time, you'll find your own style. So I like to just keep things quite basic, just practical effects. But I try to make mine look like it could be painting sometimes. Shots by Gobu, if you've not seen his pictures, he's looked like actual paintings. Like I don't know how he does that, but they look fantastic.
Yeah, he's fantastic. Check him out.
Check him out for sure.
Yeah, and even if your images are terrible at first, they're your images, and love your own images.
Yeah.
And then again, if you don't like it, you know what you can do? You can delete them. It's like drawing. Sometimes, you know, I haven't drawn in many years, but I used to really enjoy drawing. But sometimes I get anxiety about drawing something, but then I remember that no one has to see it.
No.
And also, I can start again.
Yeah.
I can just give it another go. And some of my favorite drawings, I actually, like the ones that are my favorites, it took like 2 or 3 attempts to get to that drawing. So it's the same with photography, you know. And yeah, we will definitely show some old images that we would never put out today to show the progress.
I'll show you some pre-Mythic Legions.
Oh yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Little Schleich, Eldridor figures, and maybe maybe the odd Hulk picture or some McFarlane.
Yeah.
I did collect and photograph a lot of other figures before I got into Mythics, so I may show some of them. The odd NECA, Pan's Labyrinth, and other figures like that. Some of the horror figures.
It's good to look back sometimes to see how far you've come and how far you want to continue to keep going. And everyone has to start somewhere, right, Five?
Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself.
No,
because other people do that for you.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, on to episode 6 coming soon.
Keep it mythic.
Salute.